Bonjour YouTube, it's Riche Shin. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on my videos. And please, mesdames and messieurs, don't forget to click the notification bell. So, gotta share. I haven't been Saba since George Floyd's murder, but I think I've shared that with you. It was a triggering event for me. Something that happened to me and my son's friend. One day I'll share it with you. But it triggered me. And I'm just processing, but yeah, it was triggering. What's also triggering me are Karens. I had a personal, I witnessed a Karen in action this weekend, and I was at a drive-thru. Let me just say that by the time I got up to the window to pay for my food, I said to the young lady, I said, I'm totally being nosy, but did you just have a Karen? And then they all cracked up laughing. And there was like 5 of them working the drive-thru window. And they all cracked up like, yeah. I said, girl, I knew it. Girl, I said, Karens, don't take them personal. She said, I'm not. I said, good. You can now spot them in action. In action. So, of course, we're talking about a Karen today. And this one, woo, she got called out. This one, of course, they all go viral. But this one, this one, oh, God. I mean, I am just, you can't even imagine how damn tired I am of these damn Karens. But let me just share. CNN. And CNN is, the headlines for CNN is Baton Rouge activist rips school board member for defending Robert E. Lee. Now, if y'all don't know who Robert E. Lee is, Robert E. Lee actually was he fought in the Confederate Army. I believe he was a general. And which is interesting about America's history, because the Confederates were actually against the government. And yet there's all kinds of monuments of Confederate generals and all that mess, slave owners, up all over the place in America. Even though the Confederate Army fought against the American government because they didn't want to give up their slaves. So why would you put them up as monuments? I have no idea. To me, it's backwards, but that's America. Hence the reason why. I mean, America has always been backwards. That'd be like, again, and people have to put it in the context. That would be like putting a monument up of any of the terrorists that were responsible for 9/11. That's what that would be like. And I know people, that's not it is exactly the same. The government got rid of slavery, which of course was the president at the time was Abraham Lincoln, said, nope, we're abolishing slavery. And the Confederates were like, no, we're not. We're going to fight you. And that's what the Civil War was all about. At least one of the catalysts anyway. I digress. So again, the headline from CNN reads, Baton Rouge activist rips school board member for defending Robert E. Lee. In a now viral video, an activist sharply criticized a Louisiana school board member who defended naming a school after Robert E. Lee, and then who appears to be online shopping while at a hearing on the topic. You sit your arrogant self in here and sit on there shopping while the pain and the hurt of the people of this community is on display because you don't give a damn and you should resign. The activist Gary Chambers Jr. told board member Connie Bernard at the hearing. You should walk out of here and resign and never come back because you are the example of racism in this community. He added, "You are horrible." Chambers' fiery commentary at an East Baton Rouge Parish School Board hearing June 18th comes amid a renewed reckoning with systematic racism. White supremacists, and I don't call them supremacists, white fragilists, and police violence against black people spurred by the police murder of George Floyd. One part of the reckoning has been a push to remove monuments or odes to the Confederacy, the collection of states that succeeded and waged war against the Union over the right to enslave black people. Last week, school board member Darius Lannis introduced a resolution to set up a committee to rename Lee High School, which was originally named after Confederate General Robert E. Lee. In 2016, the board voted to remove the Robert E. from the name, but his last name remained. However, days before the hearing, board member Connie Bernard said she wanted to keep the name to honor the school's legacy. She also encouraged people to do more research into Lee's history. "I would hope that they would learn a little bit about General Lee, because General Lee inherited a large plantation, and he was tasked with the job of doing something with those people who lived in bondage to that plantation, the slaves, and he freed them," she said, according to CNN affiliate WVLA/WGMB. Excuse me. Chambers accused Bernard of online shopping. Kind of hard to accuse her when you actually see a picture of her doing it. At the June 18th board meeting, Chambers took a photo of Bernard as her laptop screen showed a shopping website and then showed it to the board as he began to speak. "I intended to get up here and talk about how racist Robert E. Lee was, but I'm going to talk about you, Connie," Chambers said, sitting over there shopping while we're talking about Robert E. Lee. This is a picture of you shopping while we're talking about racism in history in this country. He said Lee was a brutal slave master. That's what I've read. Cited a slave's account or an enslaved account of being beaten and told the board to stop being in 1856. He also said they should name the school after someone on the right side of history, such as Louisiana's first black governor, P.B.S. Pinchback. "We built this joint for free," he said emphatically, "and we're done begging you to do what's right." Voices of Chambers' comments were shared. Video of Chambers' comments were shared widely on social media in the past few days, including by FS1 host Shannon Sharpe and NBA star LeBron James. "Facts," James wrote on Twitter. "Mr. Chambers ain't with the bull jive. Thank you, Mr. Chambers." Ultimately, the school board resolution was unanimously, I know how to pronounce that, I apologize, approved, with all 9 members, including Bernard, voting in favor, according to the meeting's minutes. Bernard has since apologized for her remarks, according to CNN affiliate WBRZ. "My comments last week about the naming of Lee High School were insensitive, have caused pain for others, and I have led people to believe that I am an enemy of the people of color, and I'm deeply sorry," she said. "I condemn racist injustice in any form. I promise to be a part of the solution and to listen to the concerns of all members of our community. I stand with you in love and respect." Bernard, who did not respond to CNN's request for comment, told The Advocate on Friday that what people saw on her laptop was not her shopping, but rather a pop-up that she failed to close. "I wasn't shopping," she told the newspaper. "I was actually taking notes and paying attention, reading online comments." Chambers, though, then posted a video with a 20-second clip of her scrolling on the shopping website. Robert E. Lee's history as a slave owner, as an enslaved, the enslaved. Lee personally owned enslaved people, and he assumed command of 189 others after his father-in-law died in 1857, according to the American Civil War Museum. The father-in-law's will stipulated that the enslaved people were be freed within 5 years, but Lee petitioned state courts to extend his control over them, the museum stated. State courts denied his petition, and Lee officially freed the enslaved people on December 29th, 1862, just days before the Emancipation Proclamation. Lee also punished escape attempts harshly. In 1859, he ordered the whipping of 3 enslaved people who tried to escape, according to an 1866 account by Wesley Norris. General Lee, in the meantime, stood by and frequently enjoined a county constable to lay it on well, an injunction which he did not fail to heed. Not satisfied with simply lacerating our naked flesh, General Lee then ordered the overseer to thoroughly wash our backs with brine, which was done, Norris said in the account. On Facebook last week, Lannis asked Bernard to more closely look into this history. I say to you, Miss Bernard, that Robert E. Lee is not a man to be honored by our students, especially students of color, he wrote. To force our students to attend a school with such a name is not only degrading, but it is culturally insensitive and a violation of our students' rights. NAACP Baton Rouge leader similarly said the school's renaming was long overdue. The naming of schools after Confederate heroes is rooted in history, a history of intimidation, degradation, and racism against Black people in America, they wrote. To move forward, we must honestly acknowledge the failings of our past and listen to those who feel marginalized. Now, that's just one story about this particular Karen. There's actually another story. And I actually got this from my fellow YouTuber, Kenneth Vogt. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Vogt. And so on his website, on his YouTube site, and again, his page is just called by his name, Kenneth Vogt. And I apologize, Kenneth, I'm not pronouncing your last name right. Please, like myself, he is a YouTuber that subscribe to his channel. Please do. So he's talking about, he says in his caption, Connie Bernard assaulting youth. Below are links pertaining to the video and a recent school board meeting where she defended Robert Lee and seen online shopping while people express their concerns. This video shows this woman going into someone else's house and being way more extra than a Karen, than anyone. I shouldn't say than a Karen, because Karens don't seem to have any kind of boundaries. That's one of the things I notice about Karens. They have lack of boundaries, and they think they're well within their rights to have a lack of boundaries. If they're mad, they feel like the whole world should have to suffer. That's how I feel about Karens. At least that's what I noticed this past weekend and watching a Karen in action. So this woman, and I want you to go to his website, to his YouTube site, to his YouTube page, or YouTube channel, to look at the video in its entirety. I've only just took a picture. Because, it's all I gotta say, just watch it so you can see for yourself. Now, this video is, even though he posted it on the 20th of June this year, it's a video that It didn't happen. I think it happened in 2017, which prompted her to resign. She lies and says that nope, she resigned from the school board. So this is her second time being on the school board. She resigned from the school board because of a family member's illness. But when this came out, she then conveniently, this, family member conveniently was ill and she had to resign, and yeah, whatever. She should resign again, and this time make it for good. I'm sorry, and not I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Karens are, they think that they are another branch of the police. They think that they're another branch of the police, and they are not. They are not.